With us now for more news, including John Blackstone on how this woman came to be Miss April on a calendar in Berkeley, California. A lot of attention is paid to the homeless at this time of year, but it is easy to put them out of mind for the rest of the time, which is just what a group in Berkeley is trying to change. John Blackstone now with that.
The homeless in Berkeley, California are suddenly finding they have some new status. Hundreds of people are taking the homeless home and hanging them on the wall. I don't imagine you'd thought of yourself as a calendar girl somehow.
Why not, buddy?
The street people of Berkeley are featured in a 1991 wall calendar that has become a surprise bestseller in a city that has a reputation for embracing the unusual.
How do you like it?
A man known simply as is featured on the calendar's cover.
Want me to autograph it?
People aren't just buying the calendar, they're even asking for autographs from those who usually ask them for spare change.
Down here, because you don't want me to do it across my body, do you?
Some of the profits from the $6 calendar will go to a charity for the homeless. The calendar's commercial success surprises even its creators, self-described street anthropologist B.N. Duncan, and a cartoonist who calls himself Ace Backwards.
We're kicking their butts. We're out selling every calendar up there.
Well, our calendar is really one of a kind.
In the usual year-end clutter of decorative calendars, everything from birds to bagels to bathing beauties, the rough black and white Berkeley street calendar does indeed stand out. Its purpose is to deliver a now familiar message with a new twist.
People are concerned about the homeless issue, but they're getting tired of it. They're burned out on it.
We're not trying to rant and rave at people. We're not trying to make people sob with pity. We're trying to show that these people can be interesting and enjoyable to know about.
For example, the month of May is the HateMan.
I hate you!
You know, I feel the world is basically a disaster, and I think this is why that we've been trying to have a nice day.
He did have a career once, reporting the news for the New York Times.
I feel that was part of my normal life, type A behavior, climbing the mountain. So then I tried the other side of the mountain, type B, for bum.
Well, Berkeley has a reputation for its particularly colorful street life. Some of the characters depicted in the calendar are likely to seem familiar to city dwellers across the country.
These are my animals.
There's Narayan, who travels the streets with her pets and appreciates the prominence of being Miss April.
They say, oh yeah, you were in the calendar.
There's Mr. December, Charles Anderson, who spends much of the day on a park bench, although he says he's busy writing a book that's thousands of pages long.
Well, I'm hoping if enough people buy the calendar that somebody might buy my book.
The calendar will do its job, its creators say, if a few more people realize the homeless aren't just homeless, they're also human. John Blackstone, CBS News, Berkeley.
And that's our report for tonight. I'm Bob Schieffer, sitting in for Dan Rather. Good night.
When you've got...
I hate you!
How a small town raised money to meet its budget and is now one of the country's worst speed traps.
Americans are happy to give to the homeless, give them a helping hand. During the holidays, most Americans are happy to give to the homeless, give them a helping hand. But come January, it's all too easy to forget, unless, as John Blackstone reports, you have one of the season's hottest-selling calendars.
Some of the homeless people who are fixtures on the streets of Berkeley, California, are not asking for spare change these days. They are being asked for their autographs.
What's your name? Christopher.
13 of the homeless here have taken on a new celebrity status with the unexpected success of a 1991 calendar that features their pictures.
I feel it is powerful to present us in a media form to people who just walking by would just be afraid of us or try to avoid us.
The calendar sells for $6, and it's selling out. The two men who created it say they never expected to make money. Their object was to remind people about the homeless at a time when sympathy seems to be running low.
So we wanted it to be fun so people would look at it because they're tuning out on the subject of homelessness.
We're trying to show that these people can be interesting and enjoyable to know about.
The man known simply as Rare, because that's what he roars on the streets of Berkeley, graces the calendar's front cover. Some of the profits from sales of the calendar will go to a charity for the homeless. But one of the ironies of this calendar is that most of those who appear in it don't even have a wall to hang it on. Mr. December, Charles Anderson, spends most of his days on a park bench.
People take my picture all the time, so this was just another picture as far as I knew.
Narayan, Miss April, travels the streets with her pets and enjoys her new recognition.
They say, oh yeah, you were in the calendar.
Ever imagine yourself as a centerfold?
Sure, plenty of times.
Even Sparky, best known for his tough exterior, enjoys being Mr. March.
When they see the picture in the calendar, why, they might be inspired to, enlightenment, enlighten themselves a bit as to the situation out here.
That's the calendar's message. The homeless are people too. John Blackstone, CBS News, Berkeley.
This is the CBS Morning News for Thursday, December 27th.